If you ask someone what the PMP certification is all about, they'll probably mention Gantt charts and process documents, but it seems like that's a completely outdated view now.
Oh, completely. The PMP exam has undergone a fundamental shift. For years, it was a process-heavy marathon. The 2015 version was all about the mechanics: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and closing. That's what everyone memorized.
Right, the 5 domains. But looking at the 2026 framework, that's all gone. It's now condensed into just 3 pillars: people, process, and the business environment. And what's really striking is that people now accounts for a massive 42% of the total score.
Exactly. And that's a huge wake-up call for technical managers. It means you can't just memorize the PMBOK guide anymore. The old PMP tested if you could manage a project. The new PMP tests if you can lead the people who do the work. You have to prove you can handle a heated team conflict or mentor a junior developer, which, let's be honest, are often the hardest parts of the actual job.
That makes sense. It's interesting that process still holds the slight majority at 50%, but business environment is this small 8% sliver. What's the aha there? Is it less important?
Well, you might think so, but that 8% is really the connective tissue. It's about project compliance, evaluating benefits, and delivering actual value to the organization. It's basically the PMI saying, it doesn't matter if you finish the project on time and on budget if it didn't actually help the company's bottom line. It forces the project manager to think like a business leader.
So, the what you're being tested on has evolved to be much more human-centric and strategically aligned. But the how, the actual exam experience, has also undergone a pretty intense makeover.
I'd say so. The stress factor is definitely higher.
Let's talk about that stress factor. The exam has been trimmed from 200 questions down to 180, but the time limit was cut even further to 230 minutes. That means you're under more pressure per question. And they've added interactive elements like hotspot questions and animations instead of just standard multiple choice.
It's definitely more intense. The inclusion of animations is the real game changer here. The exam is essentially trying to role play with you. It presents a scenario, maybe a stakeholder conflict, and asks you to react in real time. It's designed to see how you adapt under pressure, not just whether you can recall a formula from a book. It's a much better test of real-world soft skills.
It sounds like a high-pressure simulation of a real office environment. With the stakes this high and the format this varied, how do you actually prepare without burning out?
That's the million-dollar question. It's really about shifting your whole approach from passive reading to active simulation.
To wrap this up, the advice for 2026 seems clear: quality over quantity. You need updated materials that reflect these new domains, a strict study plan, and most importantly, it sounds like you need to take full-length practice exams to simulate that specific 1-8-0 question fatigue.
Right, and don't just study the PMBOK, simulate the stress. If you haven't sat still for 4 hours straight in practice, you aren't ready for the real thing. And don't forget the human side of studying. Joining a discussion forum or a study group is actually more effective now. You can't just find the right answer for a leadership problem in a textbook. Hearing how someone else would handle a difficult team conflict can give you that aha moment you won't get from reading alone.
Precisely. It's about being as proactive and adaptable as the project manager's PMI is looking for. So, if you had to boil it down to the absolute essentials for someone diving into their PMP journey now, what would be the final checklist?
I'd say 4 things. First, the 42% rule. Remember that leadership and people skills are now almost half the exam. Second, expect a format mix. You're going to face hotspots, matching, and animated scenarios, not just multiple choice. Third, the time crunch is real. You have roughly 76 seconds per question, so time management is everything. And finally, stamina is key. If you're taking it on a computer, use those 2 10-minute breaks. They are essential to maintain the focus you'll need for this new style of exam.